Ah, there you are. You know, we've been expecting you. Hello, we are live at the Volvo stand at the Geneva Motor Show. A very warm welcome to you. This is going to be the most interactive car launch in the history of Volvo, and you are very much a part of it. Thank you so much for joining us. When I say interactive car launch, I don't just mean that you and I are going to be talking to the designers, the engineers, the executives in charge of this new vehicle, of which we will hear more in a moment. It's about the vehicle itself and how that has come about as part of the participation of you and me into Volvo. But we're going to learn all about that, the Designed Around You concept, throughout the day. The unveiling itself is at 12:15, that's about an hour and 3/4. That's 11:15 GMT, and you can work out from there which time zone you're in, what time that's going to be. I thought, though, we would start with a tour of the stand and a general sense of what it's like to be at this massive motor show. Let's start here. Well, this is what Volvo are calling the Pure area. I love this seat. Isn't this a bit Jane Fonda as Barbarella, or the Avengers maybe, John Steed sitting in their 1960s chic. There's a nice soft set here, and look at these people relaxing on the comfortable sofas, the clean lines. The screen in the background there changes from the fire to the outdoors. We are sharing at the stand, the neighbours there are Aston Martin. I thought it was quite interesting to note the famous British mark there. Look at the smooth lines on their cars. Contrast that with what Volvo brings to the industry. There's something unique, isn't there, about that Scandinavian design aesthetic, the clean lines, and you can see that in the car. So Dragon, if you come this way, let's have a look at what we've got on the stand itself. This is the plug-in hybrid, the V60, that was unveiled 12 months ago, actually, at this car show. And I know a lot of you have been asking via Facebook over the last couple of days when this car is going to be in the showrooms, when you can order it. There's no date set, but I spoke to Peter Mertens this morning, and he told me that they are looking at autumn this year. So you heard it first, live here. Now, if we come around this way, let's give you an idea of the breadth of this stand. That's the XC60 plug-in hybrid. That's not going to be in showrooms anytime soon. It's a concept technology unveiled in Detroit, but it's really exciting. And there's a 4x4, quite a large car, that you can plug in at home and drive on pure electricity, at least for a certain amount of its range. And that's really quite an achievement. Volvo, again, leading the way in technology, as they so often have done. Let's back through here. We've got lots of people on the stand, a lot of interest in the unveiling of what? Well, this is it. This is the V40. As you can see, the covers are on at the moment. They come off at 12:15 local, 11:15 GMT. Now, Dragon, what I want you to do, can you swing around that way and look back here? Now, if Dragon just tilts the camera up to have a look at that lighting gantry, I think that will give you an indication of the size of this operation. This is a massive motor show. The lighting goes on as far as the eye can see. I reckon there are 40 or 50 car manufacturers in this hall alone, and that's just on one level. There's another level that goes up there. We've got Rolls-Royce just to our side, all sorts of manufacturers that do specialist cars, as well as the majors as well. There are 6 additional halls. Can you believe that? They're not all this size, but the operation goes on a long way around to a lot of acreage. Now, yesterday, I caught up with a couple of people. First of all, Johan Reutergaard, who's in charge of bringing this stand together, but also Philippe Echevin from the GMS, the Geneva Motor Show organization. He told me what goes into putting this operation on.
It's the biggest show at Palexpo every year, of course, but it's also the biggest show in Switzerland every year. So yes, it's a very, very big show. More than 11,000 lights are hanging from the roof. And if you add the lights, the cabling, the truss and the motors, it's more than 800 tons which are hanging above your heads. It's a total of 5,000 lorries coming to Palexpo for the build-up of the motor show. During the show, it will be 150,000 cars coming for the visitors, and an average of 70,000 visitors a day, with a peak of more than 93,000 in one single day.
We're sitting in the area called Switch to Pure, Volvo. And of course, cars are getting cleaner every day. And of course, you could even have them in your living room maybe. So you get the whole, feeling that cars are not any dirty anymore. They are getting cleaner, it's really nice. And therefore, of course, we want a nice exclusive area. It's a meeting place for meeting customers, seeing the press, and getting our message out in a live way, where people actually can sit, touch, and feel, which is very important to me, especially as responsible for stand building and putting the cars on the stand, seeing to that we have the environment that we would like to show the public what is Volvo. And this is Volvo.
Predictably enough, the busiest part of the Volvo stand is the coffee lounge behind me. Of course it is. Now, let me introduce you to Marlin Schwartz from Volvo. Hello, Marlin. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Let's shake hands. This is a big deal, an interactive car launch. What does interactive mean to you in that sense?
Well, actually, it's very simple. We listen to the consumer throughout the whole development process. And of course, when we come to the launch and the reel of the car, we want to share that moment with our customer. And afterwards, we want to let their voices be heard out, the reactions on the car.
Now, on a more practical note, we have questions coming in the whole time. If I can grab my iPad here, I want to ask you one of these questions. You can't see it, it's going to be a surprise. It's from Martin Svensson via Facebook, and he asks actually quite simply, Marlin, how do you transport the cars here from Gothenburg?
That's a very good question. We use hidden covered trucks. Hidden covered because the car is still under security. And
I'm guessing these trucks don't have Volvo emblazoned on the side.
Don't.
So security is very important. I know we were filming in one of the V40s yesterday. Your people were all around getting very twitchy about the idea that photographers might be nearby. How important is it to keep this car a secret? And that goes on for a few years during development.
Well, you're quite right. It's a few years, and we always want to keep the security level. And of course, it's tricky. We know that, but somehow, in every car launch, we manage to do it.
Secret agents, the best in the business. Marlin, good luck for today. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Dragon, come on round. Let's have a look at the centerpiece to the Volvo stand, which is this catwalk. I suppose it's a car walk. The two V40s are going to be rolled out in an hour and a half or so. One of them will end up here on this turntable, the other one down there. I want to draw your attention, however, to the big screen up there. Up there, your comments posted on Twitter and Facebook are being fed live, and I can tell you every executive, every designer who counts in Volvo is glancing up at that board. So if you've got something to say, today is the day to say it. And I can see a lot of people looking forward to, in fact, we mentioned the V60 plug-in hybrid just now, and there's Robert Weston, really like the V60 plug-in hybrid, looking forward to a test drive, reacting to what we just announced, that it's going to be hopefully in showrooms in the autumn of this year. Let's talk to Richard Montero, who is a big cheese. Good morning, Richard.
Hi, James. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Very good.
Now, as you're such an important man at Volvo, I'm going to ask you the toughest question, which is, you're selling this car as interactive as part of the Designed Around You concept. That concept is a year and a half old. The car must have been in design for several years. Are you selling us short here? Is this a myth?
No, actually, I think the V40, when it was in development, was a car that aspired to what we wanted to be as a brand, and we had listened to customers a lot, involved them in the process, and it really was the beginnings of how we talked about ourselves as the most customer-centric premium car company.
How serious are you about having customers involved in the design process?
Well, it's a fine line. I don't believe necessarily in things like user-generated car design. I think it's important to listen to customers at every stage of the game, but our engineers and designers are the real experts, and they're the ones who translate what customers tell us into the design solutions.
Okay, well, the questions are coming in. Let me get my iPad again. I've got one for you. This is from Mikael Wilberg from via Twitter. Which of the V40 features do you most expect to be cleaning most fingerprints off during the show?
Well, there's a lot of great technical features in the car, like the driving dynamics and the interactive dashboard. But there's little things that in clinics customers tell us they love. And the two things I'd say to look out for are the new rear view mirror, the frameless rear view mirror, and the illuminated gear shift knob, because both of them just signify a really clean, pure Scandinavian design.
Brilliant. Richard, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning. All those years of design effort that go into it, and it's the gear knob and the rear view mirror that people notice. Of course, we love our little quirky bits, don't we? Now, the questions are coming in during the day. Ask your question. It might be about what colour ranges are coming in, what kind of performance you can expect from the car, the technical data, or where Volvo's going. Volvo is very clearly launching this car and stating its claim in the BMW Audi market. That's an audacious bid for the company. You may want to talk to the boss about that, and we'll put your questions live to him at the end of the day at 4 o'clock Central European Time, 3 o'clock GMT. So until the live press launch, which is going to be here on Facebook as an interactive streamed event for which you are very much invited, we're going to say for now, goodbye from the Geneva Motor Show.
Very good.